which is from Steve Salina, and he's going to talk to us about unleashing in-content collaboration and insights using Enodo. Steve Salina is Manager of Instructional and Research Video Technologies at the Academic Technology Center at Bentley University. So, Steve, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, my name is, as Russ just said, Steve Salina, and I'm the Manager of Instructional and Research Video Technologies at Bentley University. And I know I'm the last speaker here, and if we were at a real conference, I would be the last one between you and the virtual bar. So I'll try to keep this pretty brief. I don't see my actual slides up here. There we go. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about a product called Annoto to help try to make your videos a little more collaborative. So before we do that, I just want to go over briefly just a little bit about Bentley itself. We were founded in 1917 in Boston, Massachusetts as the Bentley School of Accounting and Finance, so primarily a business school. We moved to Waltham, Mass, about 9 miles outside of Boston in 1968. And again, we're primarily still a business school, but we do have a strong focus on the arts and sciences these days as well to try to intertwine the two. We're about 5,400 students, so on the smaller side, but still a good size campus. And we started doing online hybrid classes in 2000. So we've been doing this for quite a while now. We originally were doing it with a product called Centra, which evolved into Saba. We started using Zoom 4 years ago. So we were actually using it quite extensively when the pandemic hit. So we were okay with that. So what we were trying to achieve at one point, because we were doing so many online classes and hybrid classes, we were trying to make a way to have our videos that were being produced for these classes be more along the lines of a regular class. So we were trying to make our online video either flipped classroom use or asynchronous video use more interactive and engaging for the online users, and make online content more comparable to an in-class experience. So with the physical environment, it's active, it's social, it's much more collaborative. You can speak with each other, with the students. You can talk to your faculty member, get in groups, talk face to face, and it's very easy to do. An online environment, it's very passive, very lonely. You're just you in front of a computer, not collaborative if you're just watching videos for use for classrooms. So we're trying to find a way to make it those a comparable situation. So one of the things we found was using Annoto. And Annoto is an in-video collaboration solution that turns passive one-way video watching into an active and collaborative learning experience. And I actually, we were, again, looking to do these things before the pandemic even hit. So, and certainly since the pandemic hit, it became even more imperative. But I saw Enodo last year at Kaltura Connect in New Orleans, in January of 2020. And once I saw this, I was like immediately intrigued by what this was and how it could really help us to take our videos to the next level and make them more collaborative for students. So it was certainly intriguing to us at that point. And certainly once the pandemic hit, it was even that much more intriguing to us. So, what can you do with Annoto? And as you can see here, Enodo actually sits on top of your Kaltura player. So it's basically a plugin that sits on top of it. Once you would enable Enodo, your video would play where that white space is, and you have an interactive timeline on the bottom that has markers in it for when students add comments. It puts a little marker on the timeline. And in the in-video collaboration widget is where they can actually make their comments and make their replies and add things to the video. And the interactive timeline in the collaboration widget are tied together so that if you click on maybe one of the buttons, the interactive timeline items, it will queue up the video to that point and queue up the comments to that point. So you can have everything's timestamped and everything can keep everything together. And you can see with the interactive collaboration widget, there's a comment section where you can add your comments and students can, reply to other comments and have a discussion going. You also have a personal notes section where you can keep your own personal notes that no one else can see. Everyone has their own. And say you had questions about a particular part of the video, you could put them in your personal notes. It will link them to that time in the video. So you know exactly what it is that you're referring to. And you can actually even output those personal notes to Excel or Word files that could be then sent to the instructor, and actually could be used for some sort of assignment as well. So I'm not going to go into the nuts and bolts of using Enodo. It's just, it's too much to do in this short period of time, but I just wanted to go over a few of the use cases we had for using it. So you can see there's actually a variety of things you can use it for, between skills assessments, collaborative learning. You can use it on class recordings or previously produced video content. You can use it for peer review and feedback, video analysis, and guided watching. So let me just go through a couple of those right now. I won't go through all of them, but I'll go through a few of them. So with guided watching, this is really interesting because this is for the faculty members themselves to use. And this is for if they have a video already created that they want their students to watch, before they publish this and make this viewable for the students, they can add things into the video already. So points of information, they can add questions ahead of time. They can put in reflection points. They can add additional videos. That's actually kind of cool. You can add YouTube videos right in here, and the YouTube videos play in the comments. You can add links to external websites in there as well. So you could put in points of information in the video already ahead of time for students to pay attention to. And it makes it really important because the students will pay attention to those points if you as the faculty member thought it was important enough to put a question or something there. And it actually can help increase the students' motivation to want to take an active part in the video and watching the video and replying to things. So it's a way for you to, as a faculty member, to make the video more interactive before the students even begin to watch it. With collaborative learning, this is basically your standard video that you'd put up, either of the class recording, a flipped classroom, something you did ahead of time. And the students will just have a comment. You could even put up, if you put up a movie kind of a thing, the students can then have a discussion going about certain points of the movie or the video or whatever as you're going along. And it's nice because it's not an additional discussion board your students have to go to. So they have to go outside of the video, write it, come back into the video, and they're not linked together. They're actually having a discussion right inside the video. It's not live in terms of, you see everything like a chat, but you can get email notifications and other notifications that a comment has been made or a reply has been made right then and there. And you can go right to the video and see the comment and reply to it as well. So it makes it so much easier to have a discussion about the video without leaving the video itself. In terms of skills assessment, and actually this was just brought up in the last panel, we have effective speaking classes at Bentley as well, where we teach students how to give effective presentations. And normally these happen in the classroom. Normally I would go in with my team or my students, and we go in with the cameras and we record it and then put these up online for students to watch later. Students would give feedback in class. Now, obviously with the pandemic, people are doing online presentations and probably still will do online presentations in the future. So you can give your online presentation and the faculty member can give feedback right inside the video. Peers can give feedback right inside the video. And actually the presenter themselves can give a self-evaluation. So at certain points in the video, they might say, hey, I wish I had done this here. I could have done better here. I should have added this in here. And then the faculty member or even the students can say, yeah, I agree with that. Maybe you could have done this a little different. And it's almost as if you're watching the video together, especially even if you're working with the faculty member. Like if you were watching the video in their office, you could be having that conversation back and forth using Enodo. One thing actually I didn't mention is that one of the comments you can make, and well, they're making this live now, it's just coming out. One of the comments that you can make is a video comment or an audio comment. So instead of just making a regular static, text comment, you could there would be a button that says record. You could record an audio comment or a video comment, and it would show up right inside the widget in the discussion and play right then and there. So I know that's coming out soon. It's in development now, and I'm actually very eager for that to come out too, because our faculty are very much looking forward to that. So a couple other things. So it's like student interaction. This would be something where, you have maybe like peer-to-peer learning. Students use like media gallery. Maybe they upload videos for other students to watch. I'm just like, here, I found this video, which is great to go along with this class or with this topic we're talking about. What do you think? And then they start having a discussion back and forth just among the students. And it's great because the students are really involved and active in what they're doing with the class. And with your typical flipped classroom, where you would have, the faculty member would produce a video ahead of time to have the students, not have to watch the video in class and take up valuable class time. So maybe a 10-15-minute video ahead of time they post, and you can have a discussion with that. Or say maybe there's a particular point of what the faculty member is trying to go over in their course. If it's a math course, they're having a hard time understanding a certain equation. The faculty member can then, outside of class, make a 5-10 minute video on themselves on, okay, I want to hone in on this certain thing and help you understand this better. And again, they can add in guided points along with it. Students can ask questions inside the video. Faculty member can put in extra links to other videos too, again, to help that guided learning. So that's a very useful tool for this. So I just wanted to go over a couple of use cases we had here at Bentley itself, because we have a couple different ways it's being used. And this is from an English and media studies professor who teaches a media production class. So we do video production classes and media production classes and analyzing films and things. But this is an actual media production class. And she says, it's perfect for her to use in her production classes where the work is time-based. My students need to offer written critiques to peers. In the past, I posted videos in a gallery in Blackboard, and comments can be seen underneath. So the video is playing, but it's like a discussion board, and discussions going on underneath it. Because students can insert comments at particular points within the video using Enodo, it makes it much more conducive for the artist, the student who maybe produced the piece, to see where exactly in the video a student commentator is referring in order to help them move forward with their work. The students also like the additions of emojis and other graphics, so it feels less like busy work and more akin to responding to something on social media. And we all know how important that is these days. Our students are so into social media. They've been, grown up with social media, and everything is social media. So if we can help make our videos more like social media, that would help them learn and keep them engaged in that video. And she goes on to say, after using Enodo, I found students tend to write more lengthy and far more directed and well-crafted responses to each other. So they can take time and put those things in the comments, which is great. Another professor who teaches accounting. So the last one was English Media Studies. Here's an accounting professor. So in the business school. Right now, I use it primarily in the first 3 weeks of class, where I do have some short video content developed. I find students do better using Enodo than discussion boards. Topics get grouped logically based on the video timestamp. So it's easy to find these discussions and, again, put them right into the video, and you can see where in the video they're referring to. She goes on to say, I developed the attached rubric to allow students flexibility in earning the professionalism grade, which is 10% of my overall course grade. Her class is actually part synchronous, part asynchronous. So it's, some parts they meet, synchronously, other parts are done outside of that classroom time. So she can help determine participation of the class by using Enodo, by using discussion boards, but also by using Enodo, that if they watch the video and they help participate in the class by adding to the discussion in the video using Enodo, that can help increase their grade, and she can help grade the students in that class. So it's a very useful tool for her to use. And last but not least, we have a natural and applied sciences faculty member who actually does use this for student presentations. So she says, the main way that I've used Enodo is for student presentations. Instead of having them present synchronously during class, I've had students record and post their presentations in a gallery. Then they watch and comment on each other's presentations and can respond to their peers' comments. I like doing this since I think they engage with each other's presentations more this way, or at least I have a better sense of it via the comments. This next sentence I really actually like. When I've done presentations in class, there are rarely any questions at all. So she's actually, she's comparing the two of doing them in class versus online. She's finding they're getting more discussions and more comments by doing this online using Enodo than she would actually from getting in class. And I think part of that may also be too, is I think we've kind of figured out over a period of time that people are a little more unshy or less shy of typing things out than they would be necessarily for saying things face to face. So they might feel more empowered to write something in the comments, and they would necessarily to say that to the person. And she says, other than the engagement, I like that the comments are tied to a particular point in the video, and that makes it much easier to figure out what they're referring to in their comments. And I've just added a couple of best practices here for using this, pretty much what I've already kind of gone over, but in a few bullets here. For faculty, it's best to add comments to the video before students watch it to help get that engagement in the video before the video even begins. You can add comments on different moments in the video with additional facts or ideas. Phrase your comments as a call to action. Ask your students a question, invite them to share their thoughts, make it interactive, invite them into the video, to the conversation, and to collaborate with one another. Enodo can be used as an enriching layer to the video, adding videos, other videos, and links within your comments. You can teach your students the art of the reply. We all know that's going to be important for students when they go off into the real world. They're going to have to, reply to emails and phone calls and other things in their jobs, and this will help them to learn that art of replying to one another, and you can encourage them to do that. And you can let them know when a student wrote a good reply or asked a good question by using the educator's thumbs up. Students can actually click a like button so when other students like your comment. The educator has an educator's thumbs up button, which will show, to the students saying that the faculty member also thought that was a great comment or a great reply or along those lines. And so they know that, hey, I've done a great job here. I'm going to keep going with it. One thing I'm not going into because I don't have the time, there's actually very robust analytics behind this as well, which I'm not going to show now, but you can see who's watched the video, how many times they've watched the video, how long they watched the video, how many comments they've made. You can actually see all the comments. You can, right within your analytics, you can actually see the whole comments without having to go to the video itself. So it's a very robust tool to use for the analytics as well, which also helps with the grading aspect of things. So that's Enodo in a nutshell. Here's my information. If you want to reach out to me for any further questions or comments about it, I'd welcome talking about it. My email's there, my phone number's there. It's a great tool. More and more faculty members are using it, and they're really, using this as a way to make these videos more collaborative and like an in-class experience.
Steve, that was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. And what a great tool to share with everyone. I think it's not quite as commonly known as we might have thought. I know, so it's really great to see just a wonderful use case for Annoto because it does some amazing things. And I don't think as many people are using it as maybe would like to. And you've just shown a bunch of really wonderful academic and instructional use cases that really support your online pedagogy. So that is just wonderful. Thank you again.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, and with that, it is time for us to wrap up. So we have actually come to the end of the day today.